Hey, welcome to my E3 EA video. Today I'm going to be talking about E3 2018 at EA. So, let's jump in, shall we? I have notes that were written by my wife. They open EA with the AR flying out of the screen. What made this funny for me watching that scene was that no one sitting there was actually seeing that. Hopefully it was playing on screen, but not like popping out of it. And that was lame. I didn't like that at all. They talked about a 3-day game fest. Whoopity-doo. Then the host came out. She touched somebody, and that was weird. You could tell she hadn't really, hosted something like this before, and yeah, you could tell. Then they showed off Battlefield V. Battlefield 5. It is set in World War II. You can jump through windows. That is apparently a big deal. You can, move big guns. This is the order in which they talked about them. Then they talked about their destruction system. Now, I'm not sure if the destruction system is going to be on consoles or not. If it is, that would be amazing, but this might only be for PC. So, I guess we'll find out when that comes out. I don't know, but if it is for consoles, that would be amazing. It's happening to the power of the consoles, but it would also make sense to me if they were able to do this on like the Xbox One X and the PlayStation Plus, but not the consoles that originally came out, the ones with a little bit more power, but we'll see. We know that it launches in October. They swear it won't have any loot boxes, no premium pass, nothing like that. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a Royal mode, which
Royale. I thought maybe you couldn't read.
No, I can read.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna let me do my video? I'm gonna have to start kicking you out if you're gonna talk during all of my videos. So they have a Royale mode, which is I don't care, and they're like some people yelled like yeah, but they're probably just like fanboys. So I don't know. All right, next let's move on. They talked about FIFA. After that, they talked about Origin Access Premiere. They talked about Origin Access, which I was like, I'm not going to cover this, but they did show something very interesting, which I think they're going to talk about at the Xbox press conference a little bit more, but they showed you hooking your phone up to an Xbox One controller, and it just flowed past me, and I was like, wait, that's actually really cool. Like, if I could play games on an Xbox One controller, like, that would make a lot of gaming on my phone possible, and a lot of first-person shooters that people have made on there, and certain touch games that I know that would be better with a controller on there. I am all for that, and if PlayStation was smart, they would do the same thing, but having a controller that hooks to your phone or tablet is a brilliant idea, and every company needs to do that. So, I don't know, that kind of blew me away, and I liked it a lot. That's it. That's all. Then the host sat down next to the guy who was from Respawn, who made the Titanfall 1 and 2 series. And, I mean, all he did was give us the name of a new game called Jedi Fallen Order, which is a cool name. He said it's between episodes 3 and 4. She was like, that sounds like a good time. And he was like, no, you're an idiot. It's not. It's a very, very bad time. And yeah, she was very, and it's weird that if it actually is coming out holiday 2019, which I don't think it's going to hit that date, why didn't they show anything? They didn't even show us the title card of it. So I don't think it's going to hit that 2019 release date, but alright. And then they talked about Battlefront 2 and all these new stuff. Han Solo, a movie no one liked, the characters from that. And, squad building, they're really trying to win back people. This was a real big push for them to win back people. They got Obi-Wan Kenobi and General Grievous and alright, Count Dooku, which no one in the audience clapped for, no one cared. Yeah, it's dying. You gotta move on to the next game. Just make the next game better. Then the guy who made Unraveled came out. Unraveled 2 came out. Me and my wife got very emotional watching it. And it's available today. They dropped that stuff today. Amazing. Very great. Then they weirdly started talking about A Way Out, which like, where are you going with this? Then a woman came out who's also an indie dev from, is it Germany?
Mm-hmm.
From Germany. And she talked about a game called Sea of Solitude, or SOS. This looks like it will be an interesting game. I know that EA probably wouldn't have invested in it if they knew it would move people in a certain way, so I'm very interested to see how the main character develops. It kind of reminded me of a game called Papa Yo, where you went through this journey with a monster, and then when you reveals who the monster is and what your relation to that monster is, it changes the entire game. So I feel like this game might be similar, that you go through experience monsters and their depression and loneliness that they go through, and then as you heal them, it heals you a little bit. Maybe your character's not as dark, but yeah. And we talked about all the sports, some more sports, the basketball, the football, and kind of fast forwarded through that and hopped up on them talking about a mobile game and did like a live Twitch thing of a mobile game, but then shockingly, when they revealed the title of it being Command and Conquer Rivals, like, wow, a handheld Command and Conquer game. That's very interesting, very different. I've only seen Command and Conquer on PC, maybe a couple of times on consoles, but it's interesting that they're branching out. The gameplay looked really simple, but then they had this whole CGI animated cutscene thing that looked nothing like the game. Alright, and then they started talking about how charitable they are, how nice EA is, and I was like, that's when I super fell asleep while watching it. I was asleep. Then they jumped into Anthem, and I woke up, and I was very excited for Anthem. They really hedging all their bets on Anthem. Made by BioWare, who did Knights of the Old Republic, Mass Effect. So I've never played either one of those games, or I played the beginning of them and got bored. But I like the company, everyone I know likes them, and this game really did look interesting, where like when you go out of this like central hub is when you could play with other players. And they kept saying open world a lot. They kept saying changing open world, and I didn't know if that meant just environment, like if it would be snowing or raining, and when everyone comes in it is doing that, or if the actual topography of the map will change, like certain things will grow and get longer and shorter as you go through it. So not really clear if that's what they meant, or certain creatures will be in certain places at certain times. And that also wasn't very clear, like what they meant by that. Also, like they said they could just keep throwing in story modes in it, like perpetually for years, throwing different story modes to the game, because it feels like whenever you do a mission, it'll maybe just be a fetch quest where they put a reticle down there. You go do it, and then when you come back from doing this random mission out in the middle of this open field, that, oh yeah, it had to do with the story that was in this town. How convenient. Halo kind of tried to do this on Halo 4, where you had a story, then you would go out and do these weird missions, and then come back and there was more story. So we'll see if that system works. I'm a little hesitant on Anthem. I would have to see it played. The gameplay does look amazing. The graphics look amazing. The armor and the characters look great. And they said, look, there's no loot boxes or anything on here. Whenever you pay for stuff, you physically see what you're paying for. You know, okay, this is just some piece of armor that I think looks good. And they don't give you any better weapons or anything. I don't know if there's even a leveling up mechanic or anything in this game. There's a lot about this game that I'm questioning. And I'm like, so to me, the indie stuff was definitely the highlight, and that Jedi game that they brushed over, and the controller for your phone they brushed over. And I was like, man, they could have stuck the landing on a lot of things, and they really put all their eggs in the Anthem basket. But I feel like Anthem left me with more questions than answers, believe it or not. I feel like I'm not sure myself. I know some people are sold on it. They're gonna get Anthem now. It looks amazing. I don't know. I need to see more before I make a decision, and maybe see more gameplay. Or I mainly want to see how they're dealing with story when it comes to the combat after, and if that really gels together, and if it's just, oh, go out here and get a thing, go out here and do this. It seemed like someone was talking during the mission, but it didn't seem like that was in game. They hired someone to talk during the mission, so it seems less of a story, and it seems more like, hey, go fetch this because you're cool. And I think that's what they meant by infinite story modes, where they can just have cutscenes and people talk about stuff to do in the world, and then you can infinitely go out in the world and find different places to go to because it's so big. I don't know. I didn't. I don't know. I don't know, Anthem. You didn't tell me enough. It was all conjecture, and it was very, the 4 people they had up on that panel seemed like they're up their own asses, and that they're like, this is the greatest thing ever, and they have to say that, so, whew, I don't know. Like I said, some people are sold on Anthem. I am hesitant on Anthem. So that takes this conference a little bit lower for me, where I wasn't stoked on everything. I wasn't super excited the whole time. It did hit me in a few areas, but man, that sports stuff, and I like that they kind of sped through some sports stuff when they talked to the gamers, the Twitch streamers. Oh, come on. And I know Twitch streaming is going up, and you want to support the Twitch streaming. You want people to play your game when they're Twitch streaming. That's free advertisement for your game, having gamers play it. But man, having that kid come out was awful, and I hated him. And I am a big supporter of these games coming out, but it was just bad. It was just bad. So yeah, so far not great. I'm gonna have to rank it with the other conferences as they come out and order them. Right now, EA's on top. It's the only one that came out, so it's my number 1 pick right now. But we'll see as other conferences come out where it stacks up. So thank you for watching Game Rating Review E3 EA 2018 video. Please hit like and subscribe and like you see, and let me know how you felt about the E3 EA conference, and let me know down below, and we'll talk about it, and I'll see you at the next conference.